When I was growing up, a rainy day at school was never an inconvenience. It was an invitation to get creative. When the skies opened up in the afternoons and school was out, you always had to think fast. The sudden downpour wasn't something to run from. It was a challenge. From the makeshift shelters to bold dashes through the rain, escaping it was practically a rite of passage. Whether you were the cautious type or the come what may kind of child, there was always a clever way to face the rain. Let's stroll down memory lane and relive 9 ways Jamaican kids survived those rainy afternoons after school. Number 1, grabbing a large banana or cocoa leaf. If the rain caught you near the bushes, nature had your back. With no umbrella in sight, a banana or cocoa leaf became your best defense. It felt as though the tropical island itself was equipping you for the battle. Kids would snatch the largest one they could find, holding it high above their heads as they dashed through the rain. Sure, it leaked, but the thrill of improvising in the moment was a victory for kids, especially those of us who grew up in rural Jamaica. Number 2, school bags. No leaves around? No problem. School bags quickly became makeshift umbrellas. They shielded you for a while, but by the time you got home, your bag was soaked. Behind the fridge it went, trying to dry it out. Every Jamaican child remembers that distinct, musty smell of rain-soaked bag that never quite dried properly. A smell that lingered as a souvenir of those rainy day adventures. Number 3, huddling under a piazza. You would find kids all over towns, clustered under those overhangs, waiting for the rain to slow down. Sometimes, shopkeepers would let you inside the store, and this was a very kind gesture on stormy days. Number 4, racing to the nearest Chinese shop. Caught mid-journey, too far from school and not yet home, Chinese shops were safe havens. These small corner stores became gathering spots for drenched kids, offering shelter and maybe even a snack if you had a few dollars in your pocket. Number 5, raincoats. And these weren't the sleek rain jackets that we have today. No. These were bright, noisy, and covered you from head to toe, shielding your uniform beneath. Sure, they made you hot, but at least you weren't drenched. Number 6, running home like Usain Bolt. Sometimes when the rain came down, there was no other option but to run for it. You would take off like lightning, feeling invincible as the rain pounded down, racing home to the imaginary finish line. And even if you arrived soaked, out of breath, and earned a scolding, there was something exhilarating about those full speed dashes. And legend has it, it's one of the things that make Jamaicans run so fast. Number 7, just playing in the rain. For the brave-hearted and the children who weren't afraid to get sick, playing in the rain was the best choice of all. Splashing through the puddles, running wild in the downpour, these were the moments that we lived for. Moments of pure joy and childhood magic. Sure, you'd probably get a scolding or worse when you got home for playing in the rain, but that feeling of freedom was always worth it. Number 8, newspapers. Newspapers were never just for reading. When you found yourself without shelter, grabbing a copy of the Children's Own or any other newspaper became your impromptu rain gear. Some kids even took it further, folding their paper into actual hats. Did it work? Not really, but at least it was something. Number 9, taking shelter under trees, and especially for kids in rural areas, in desperation, even trees seemed like a good idea. You knew it wasn't the safest option, and yet sometimes you'd take your chances, hoping lightning wouldn't strike. It was risky, but when all else failed, the large trees were our closest friends. From banana leaves to school bags, from racing the rain to simply playing in it, every Jamaican child had their own way of facing the wet afternoons. These moments were more than just staying dry. They were about the thrill, the adventure, and the memories we carried along after the rain stopped. Be sure to visit listja.com to check out this article and more exciting ones about the Jamaican culture. See you there. Walk good.